Shalom, shalom aleichem. This is my first video that I'll actually be doing a video from an actual book, right? So the name of the book's title is A Practical Grammar for Classical Hebrew by Weingreen. Now I have the actual book, the first edition, and this one here that you see in front of you is a PDF that I found online. Now this is not the first edition because the first edition here where you see bet, it is actually beth. All of the endings are fricative, so they end with a th and not just a t. But that's fine for now, okay? So I'll be going through this book, you can say chapter by chapter, but little by little, in order for you to understand a bit thoroughly, okay? So let's start. The Hebrew alphabet consists of 22 consonants, and they are. So you have Aleph. Now the reason why they have an underscore or a dash underneath the letters is to say that it's fricative, okay? So my first edition book doesn't have this. It actually has an H, but instead they put an underscore here to indicate that it is a fricative consonant. Okay, so this is Aleph and not Alep, but Aleph. This is Beth. This is Veth. Veth as in the fricative. You have Gimel, Rimel. You have Daleth. You have Zaleth. You have He. You have Waw, you have Zayin, let's continue, you have Hirth, you have Teoth, you have Yod, you have Kaf, you have Chaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samer, Ain, Pe, Fe, Sazi, Kof, or Chof, you have Resh, Shin, Sin, Tau, Thou. Okay. Now you see here it says aspirant letter, PH, is represented by a single underlined letter. Okay. The phonetic value are given on page 3. So, as we see here, the foregoing table shows that 6 consonants have alternate forms, namely Beth, Gimel, Dalet, Chaf, Pe, Tau, without a dot when they are soft or spirant. I say fricative, okay? And you have Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Pe, Tau with a dot which hardens them, which makes them plosives, okay? A full account is given on page 14. Okay, so 5 consonants assume special forms at the end of words. In the beginning or middle of a word, their forms are Kaf, Mem, Nun, Pe, Sodi, but at the end of a word, their forms are as such. And these in Hebrew are called sophis. So you have Sodi sophis, you have Pe sophis, Nun sophis, Mem sophis, and Chaf sophis. Okay? Sophis, which means ending or end. It's also an adverb. The consonants are also numerical signs. The units are represented by Aleph to Tau. Aleph to Tres. And then the tens by Yod to Sodi. And the hundreds by Kof to Tau. Okay? So, like if you want to number something, you will put Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth. In modern Hebrew, that is no longer done unless it is either an official document or something pertaining to so-called, what is it called? Religious matters. Okay, so now you have compound numbers are represented thusly. You have Yod Aleph, which is 1 plus 10, that's 11. Since Hebrew is written from right to left, and then you continue. So you have Yod Beth, you have Yod Gimel, Kaf Aleph, Lamed Aleph, Lamed Beth, Lamed Gimel, Kof Aleph, Qaf Yod Aleph, and it continues, okay? As you see here. Sorry. And note, in the compounds of tens and units, there are two exceptions to the above system. Okay, so you have numbers 15 and 16 are not denoted by Yod He and Yod Wow, since these combination represents forms of the divine name Yahweh. So number 15 is therefore designated by Te'ef and Wow. Okay, so it's Te'ef Wow, 6 plus 9, and that is 15, and then you have, and 16, you have Te'ef Zayin, 7 plus 9, and that's equals 16. Okay? Phonetic values of letters. It is essential to know that the correct phonetic value of every Hebrew consonant, since a great deal of Hebrew grammar results directly from the peculiar pronunciation of certain consonants. Okay, so these are footnotes actually. Since some consonants have no equivalents in the English alphabet, it was not possible to give their true phonetic value in the foregoing table. Below is given the pronunciation of each consonant. Aleph, represented by the light breathing, is a cutting off of breath, its consonantal value being apparent when it has a vowel. It is analogous to the silent he or h in a word like honest. Okay? Beth is simply b, and then you have the veth here is pronounced as v. Now, in modern Hebrew, as a result of you know who being there and things changing, the beth is pronounced with, just like how you have a V in English, you have your teeth pressed against your bottom lip, but it's actually like you're blowing air on a leaf. Okay, so you wouldn't have the tightness of your teeth upon your bottom lip, but it's just a light breathing. Okay, and that's just for your information. So either you pronounce it that way or you pronounce it with a hard V. I think it's fine. Gimel is hard, as in go, and Rimel is almost like a guttural R. Okay, you have Daleth is simply D, and Zaleth is the same as TH in the word the. Okay, then you have He is H, H, Wow is W, Zayin is Z, Hiof with the dot underneath to distinguish it from He is like the H in the Scots word loch. And personally, it's a bit more softer than that. Again, culture to culture and person to person, it'll differ, okay? Teof with the dot underneath is a dull T pronounced by placing the tongue against the palate. So you have teof and not teof, but teof, okay? Yod is y. Then you have kaf is k, and then chaf is practically a harsh ch as above. Then you have lamed is le, mem is m, and these are consonants, okay? So of course they wouldn't have any vowels to them. Mem is m, then you have nun is n, you have samech is a dull s, and you have ayin represented by the rough breathing. It's very difficult to pronounce, being produced at the back of the throat. That's why it should sound like it's your breath is being cut off when I say al, when I say ra, when I say alecha, alechem, okay? When I say anan, okay? Things of that nature. Being produced at the back of the throat, almost like a gulping sound, okay? P is p, and then you have fe is pronounced like f. F. Sadi, represented by the s with a dot under it, is a hissing s. Then you have kof, represented by q or ch, is a K at the back of the throat. So Qaf. Qaf is different than Kaf. Khaf. Notice the pronunciation is different. Qaf. Qal. Okay, it's all the way at the back of the throat. Like the cawing of a crow. Qaw. Qaw. Okay. Resh is R. Then you have Sheen with a dot over left hand corner is which is S. Okay, so this is seen instead. Conventionally transcribed as, and then you have the Sheen here with a dot over the right hand corner represented by Sh is pronounced as Sh. Okay, so seen and Sheen were originally one letter, and they are still both represented by the one sign. Now, if you read more in other books, it'll tell you that, remember, because we took over the Canaanite letters, they only had one letter, and we had to produce two different sounds to that one letter. So Hebrew, for all those who want to divide and make this archaic and this biblical and this and every time period, it was still represented by another group of people's writing. So the Canaanite, we took over the Canaanite writing system. So before that, the archaic one is different than the so pre-archaic, then you have classical, biblical, and then it continues onto that. Okay. So Taoist and Thou is th, as in the word think. Okay, as in the word think. Distinguish carefully between consonants of similar forms as below. So you have Kafir and Beth, Nun and Gimel. You have the final Kaf, and then you have Daleth, Resh. You have Hirth, and then you have He. You have Mem, and you have Tef. You have the final Nun, then you have Waw, you have Yod, you have Samer, you have Mem, you have the final Sodi, you have Sodi, and then you have Ain. Okay? And this will end this particular video. Shalom, shalom.